Embark on your journey, the path you must take. Though hate may surround you, it's not your fate to forsake. Co-creating your destiny in the dance of time. The guiding light within you ignites the sublime. It is the light, the guiding light from the heart and soul. Don't lose control. Let it be the light shining bright, unlocking potential beyond belief, taking flight. In the depths of your being, the truth resides. Embrace your power, let your spirit rise. With every step forward, you transcend the expanded conscious community we commend. Through trials and triumphs, your soul evolves in the symphony of life, where every note resolves. Listen to the whispers of your inner voice. In unity and love, let your heart rejoice. It is the light, the guiding light from the heart and soul. Don't lose control. Let it be the light shining bright, unlocking potential beyond belief, taking flight. It is the light, the guiding light from the heart and soul. Don't lose control. Let it be the light shining bright, unlocking potential beyond belief, taking flight. As we gather together in this sacred space, embracing transformation with grace. Life coach Malachi leads the way in unlocking potential.
If you out there right now, this is semantic work. Even though you might look crazy, just do a little bit of movement. Just a little bit. Make sure you like and share. We are going to have a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful day. We got another clip from Bishop that is just amazing. I know most likely you haven't fully watched it, and we're going to have a discussion on this. Next level consciousness. Are you ready for your next level? I think you are. I think you're living in your next level, and you're doing it. You're doing it right now. I can't wait. I can't wait. See you in a minute. Again, we don't need to run it back again. All right. It's Thursday. Listen, this is pretty much all I do, is working to build, working to create a space, working to create a school, an institution, working to bring us all together in one accord, allowing us to expand, because guess what? None of us are really wanting to go back to anything that we've already done before. We are deconstructing not just our belief systems, but we're deconstructing who we thought that we were. We're deconstructing who we thought that the world is. If you don't realize right now in this moment and in this day that there's something that has taken place within literally you have to be living on I don't know what, if you don't realize that when 2019 came and 2020 hit with COVID, something just shifted within humanity, shifted like no other. I mean, it shifted. And since then, America, in particular, as the global superpower, as the global powerhouse, has been met with the understanding that something has taken place before their eyes. And they're starting to see so many more people like you and me that are different, with a different idea, with a different understanding, with more knowledge, with more understanding. And we're no longer fallen for all of the little bitty traps and the little bitty ideas and ideologies and theology that says, you better do this, you must do this, and you must do that, and you must do this. And if you don't do this, get the hell out of here. Type shit. I love y'all. I love you. And I really, really, really appreciate you for being here with me. I appreciate you for just sticking with this. I mean, it's been a little over February of 2023, 2024. I began to just embark on doing this on my own outside of Bishop's channel, although I was doing it for about roughly a year with Bishop and hosting when he couldn't host. Wonderful, wonderful episodes. Some of those episodes on Bishop's channel are some of the highest rated, some of the most watched episodes on his channel. And so I'm so gracious and so thankful and so at peace where everything has flowed. Everything has flowed and everything is flowing. Right? So I'm good. Are you good? I'm good. Miss Deidre.
Good evening, Expanding Consciousness family. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday Eve. How's everybody doing this evening? We already got 15 people already. So our numbers are going up. Early in the evening, already got 15. So yeah, let's give a shout out. Precy, Seth, good to see you. Lynn, great to see you. Mother Gwen, good to see you, my dear. Tanita, great to see you, dear. Drum roll, please. Miss Dorothy Gross is in the house. Good to have you, ma'am. Brother Chris in the building. Oshara, good to see you. Good evening.
You know who you're.
Yes, that's your mom. That's why I said it's good to see you, ma'am. I have manners. I have manners. Good to see you, Miss Gross. And then Miss Dolores is here. She's in Ontario. Very nice. Enjoy.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Let's see. Oh, we got some more. Ryan, good to see you, Ryan. Joy Lynn, good to see you. Yes, wonderful. Don't forget to like and share, everybody. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the things.
You hear that? Uh-oh. Is that your feedback?
You are? No.
What about now? Yep.
It was
I might be able to fix it. Every time I talk, yeah, I hear my back.
Oh,
Let me check. Yes, it is coming through. Hey, Rose! Rose!
evening, Rose.
Let's see. Is it coming through your headphones?
I don't hear the echo in the headphones.
Yeah, every time I talk, it's coming back to me.
I wonder
And
why.
when I mute your mic, it doesn't do it. So I'm not sure if your microphone is picking up on your headphones or your laptop. Let me see.
Let's see. Try now. I'm open. My mic is open.
Is it open? Still doing.
Okay, now look.
Echo. Yep, still there.
Okay, hold on. Try now.
Yep. No? I don't know why it's doing that.
It's something. Okay.
Maybe you come off and come back on.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see y'all in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and log back in.
Hey, we worked through it. Hey, Tia. I just got off the phone with Tia. It's amazing when you do stuff like this. I was just at a scrimmage for my son's football game, and he got to play, and it was so funny watching his mother panic. Like, oh my God. It was great. It was great to see him in just a scrimmage, but they had another one at 8, but I had to get back here because I'm so committed to all you peoples. I know it should be at least 40 of y'all. I need to send a text message out. I know Miss Deeja's gonna come back. What you listening to right now is Beyond Belief. Let it burn. I don't need permission to stand in the light. God ain't a place. God is inside. Miss Tia is going. Coach D is going to be back. This right here, this album is really, really cool. I promise you, it's going to release August 31st on all streaming platforms. But right now, it is available. Right now, it is available on the Bandcamp. And if you buy it on Bandcamp, it's $25, but you will get some more bonuses to come. So it's really fun. Anybody that has it, I promise you, it is really, really, really cool. It's just music I've written that will really dissolve limited belief systems. Let's see if DJ's working. How about now, D?
Hey.
Yes.
Go figure.
Thank you, D.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's what it was doing to me. Every time I talk, it was head back. Even when I think I'm wrong, learning to be set free, learning to be
Sing talk, Malachi. Sing talk.
myself, learning to trust myself, learning to be. Come on, learning just to be. Yeah. Listen, I'm here to tell you what we're going to do this evening is going to explore. I've been doing this for a while, and I've done this with Bishop for a while. And most of you people attend or know or are a part of me because of my work with Bishop. And I'm grateful and thankful. And I love the fact that we get to still yet be together, explore together, and think about our own lives, where we are, why we are, and how do we expand who we are, even outside of belief. There's a statement that I heard from a young fellow, and I like to pose it as a question. What do you think about this, Miss D? If your spirituality doesn't change your reality, is it vanity?
I would say so, yes. I would say so, yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Spirituality's goal is to help you become your greatest, highest self. It requires you to do the inner work on, the good things, the dark things, the hidden things, the traumas, so that you can be your best self. So if it doesn't help make you a better person, you just doing it to try to brag. You just doing it for the opinion of people
or tradition, or you just doing it because we've been doing it. Like, exactly. There's so many reasons why we do what we do and don't realize what we do. What's my favorite quote by one of my favorite white psychologists, Carl Jung? Mm-hmm. I say that on purpose to all my white people out there, because there's not too many, but there's some historical Black psychologist. But Carl Jung was brilliant, and he says, what is it? I always go blank. Your unconscious. Your
unconscious. Your unconscious will rule your subconscious until your unconscious will rule your conscience. Until you heal, or something to that effect.
Y'all, this is something that I want y'all to know.
Let me go.
And this is something you got to know, Deidre.
I'm gonna go look it up.
Until you make
the unconscious conscious.
It will
rule direct your life.
Direct your life, and you'll call it fate.
Yeah,
right. Until the unconscious mind, right? Until the unconscious mind. The unconscious is like the subconscious. And that's like we're driven by behaviors and things of that nature. Until that unconscious mind, until it comes forward, that's called shadow work. Shadow work isn't just like I have a little problem. Shadow work is when you wake up or have an awaken and you realize you smell that? And you smell it. And then you go, oh, that's me. You stank. That's me. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. You'll be like, oh, it just happened. Oh, yeah, it's just the way it is. If there's something in your life you want to shift, or you would like to shift, and I'm talking to every last one of you that you have something that you want to shift or have shift. And I don't care. It could be you talking about things in your life. You want to be healed. You want to be set. You want to have some level of abundance in your life. What are you doing? How much have you invested? How much into yourself? How much have you invested into something in terms of, yourself, time? Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. You'll be like, oh, it just happened. And you know what? As Dr. Miles Monroe said, the richest place on the planet as people are alive is the cemetery. Dead ideas, dead books, right? All these things that you have not taken action on. So some of y'all out there, some of my book authors, if y'all don't have if you're not dedicated and writing pretty much every day, if you have some idea and you think you're supposed to be doing something and you're not working on it just a little bit every day or every week, your unconscious, calling it fate. What is it? Are you asking that question?
Is that a question to you? Yeah.
Is because if it's a question, the question is, what is fate? It just happened. It's just, it's God ordained. It just so, it was destined to happen. No, dog.
No.
If you sit back and you eat, I remember when I got up to about 275 pounds. Me and my wife both just was hitting it hard because we was loving it. And I would go to McDonald's, bro, and in my late 20s, and I might have 2 McDonald's meals. You know what I mean? I want the fish sandwich and the quarter pounder.
That sounds very much like the college student diet.
Right? And I
ain't got no shape.
And was good. But
on
it's
a
like,
budget.
You know what I mean? But it's like you asking the question like, oh, okay, well, it's just what it is. No, you need to shift. And as we learn, in this talk, we're going to hear some of, and we'll come back. We'll probably listen to 10 minutes break and maybe 10, 15, 20 more minutes. But I want you guys to be able to really rest and really rest into this, because some of these talks are very, what would I say, revealing on the thought processes of Bishop, but also on the thought processes of us and where we've been. Bishop never did do really per se deconstructing. He had conversations about the things that people would do, why they would do them, and how those things did not necessarily add up to the results that we wanted in the end of it all. One of the things I tell you is Bishop was a big person in this community, expanded consciousness, and really he showed us how to step outside of the boundaries of things like religion and step into the expanded awareness. Even if you think about him as an inclusionist, I personally believe he left inclusion in where he was. He had to become an inclusionist before he became a person that was considered an expanded conscious being, in terms of, because he still yet was an inclusionist as an expanded conscious being or awareness. He dared to go beyond fear, beyond doctrine, into the truth of divine love and the universal consciousness, as some people say, the Christo or the Christ consciousness. The next level consciousness isn't about escaping humanity, but it's about embodying, being able to take in. And it takes courage to ask the question. See if we know, Deidre. What do you believe?
Why do you believe it? And how does that belief add to or subtract from your quality of your life?
So if you don't have some things in the quality of your life is just not making sense right now, you might need to shift. Bishop used to say, shift or get off the pot. I don't know if y'all remember that. But here we go. We're going to jump right into it. We won't go. And this is as we come into this particular part where Bishop is talking. This is kind of coming into a part where he's talking about being an Oral Roberts and City of Faith and how preachers were, the mindset, the ideas that they had before going in anesthesia. But this talk is going to carry on. He's going to tell a little bit of story. And honestly, it's a beautiful story. This is not on his normal everyday YouTube channel. This is on a channel. This was at Dr. Beckwith's earlier facility. But here we go.
50 million, I should say, and by now twice that much. But it was Oral's vision. He was a healing evangelist. People came to him for 40 years for hospital prevention, not invention, and then he built one, and his followers couldn't shift. So it failed. That's not the only reason, but that's one of the reasons in his lifetime it failed, but it's still there, and now there are hospitals and clinics working and operating through it. in the same spirit that we would have had. So I saw that happen, and I saw it not happen. But his emphasis was healing, and he believed that healing and science were friends, that prayer and science were friends. He wanted to take a more practical approach. Leaders go through a huge shift and a huge constant evolution when they're trying to lead people. We had a portion of the hospital that was for anonymous for preachers, particularly we have the faith emphasis and healing emphasis and miracle emphasis. We didn't want to go to the hospital and everybody know we were there. You get it? You get it? It's a little bit of a facade, but we had it because Oral himself believed in medicine and had had surgery and had been to the hospital several times. And he built this hospital, but we had it so people, and if I named some of them, you would know, most of them, you would know the people who came in. And I had some people in my church who worked in anesthesia. And I went in to have something done on one of my feet, and my musician came in to have something done for his kidneys because he was a police officer here in LA at one time, had been shot. So we go in and, within the end of the day or so, and we're out. And these people in my church came and said, Pastor, we need to really talk to you. I said, what's the problem? I come in. They said, well, we work in anesthesia at the City of Faith. And you and Matthew are the only ones that ever came in there, preachers that came in there. One of you sang and one of you preached. The whole time you're under are the first stages when you go on. I said, which one preached? He said, the other one preached, you sang and worship. I said, that's probably what I really want to do more than preach. But he said, every other preacher that came in there, including Oral, when he went under, they just started cussing like sailors from whatever cussing like sailors means. I said, they said, and it really blew our mind. And they named a list of preachers. And I said, well, let me just tell you something. People in the ministry who are preachers can be some of the most abused and at times angry, particularly in the fundamentalist movement, angry people who want to cuss but can't. Because we believe in holiness. You have a few words that come in your mind, so you suppress them. But some people, they become cancers, and they become tumors, and they become growths, and they don't know how to manage their pain. Anger is a signal emotion. It signals other emotions or commotions or even devotions in your life that have not been properly processed. And so it can fester and metastasize into something physical and manifest that way. And so I said, these preachers, when they first give them anesthesia, they relax, they become totally uninhibited, and whatever's in there comes out. You know, you all can get by with cussing, but we can't cuss you out. That doesn't mean we didn't think of it a time or two. So in my line of work, because they emphasize an angry God, you'll be followed by angry adherents. If your God says, vengeance is mine, I will repay, and you're devoted to that God, you have that same spirit operating in you. If your God says, I'm a jealous God, thou shalt have no other gods but me, he didn't say there were no other gods, you said, thou shalt have none before me. He didn't say besides me, because we all have gods beside him, but he said, he said, I got to be number one. I'm a jealous God, I'm vengeful, I'm angry. I have at least 6,000-year-old grudge. I'm going to burn the hell out of everybody one of these days. My next level of consciousness, I fired that God. And it's been a long, tedious journey because I've been in this all my life. 4th generation classical Pentecostal preacher. And now I call myself a Metacostal because I begin to study metaphysics and that particular spiritual approach to life and thought and values and universal perceptions. It's been powerful. And my Pentecostal roots actually inform my present new thought expansion. And consciousness is a state of being awake or aware. It's to know more than believe. Religion insists that you believe. Consciousness insists that you know. I think we all actually came here knowing, as some of you have heard me say, but between the womb and the tomb, we forget. We go through this amnesia. because people start telling us what to believe, and that supersedes what we know. And we press down that we know we're okay, and we know we're good, and we know we're God's, and we know we're anointed, we know we're sent here with a mission, we know that we're appointed and anointed, but we forget that and start feeling like we should grovel and try to find God. Ignore the one we are and try to find another one. And you did that, and that other one was me. That other one said, I regret that I made you. That other one said, my spirit will not always strive with humans because they're mortal. That one said, I'm going to drown every human being and every animal on the planet except for Noah and his family. I'm going to drown them. Teenagers, senior citizens, pregnant women. I'm going to drown them all. And then later on, yes, many babies, crawling babies, infant child, I want to just drown them. And then when that's over, they gonna mess up again, and I'm not gonna use water. I don't like all those smelly, bloated bodies and babies, and took 120 days for the water to recede, and the stench was foul. Let's just burn them next time. That's in your Bible if you have one. And I realize a lot of you don't, but you done got your deliverance. Did you see that? Oh, you can try to be as cool as you think you are and then drink wrong. Get him. It's a strong. Well, that just humbles her right back down. So anyway, what happened to this thing? Let me see, there, Jan, it is. So, what are you aware of? What do you know? And I often ask this question. I like to ask it everywhere I go. I've asked it here before. I think, what's working for you? That's working as you. What's working for you? What's not working for you? If you were to make a list of the two, which would be the longest? And what's working on you? What keeps you awake at night? What itch makes you keep scratching? That's your God nature, the desire to create. The most like God you are is that your ability to create. And you're creating right now. You're creating moments and realities. You're creating saliva, urine, and capillaries. And the first 9 months of our lives, we swim in our mother's amniotic fluids. We have some kind of gills or something. You're actually 80% water. Your brain remains that. When you're born, your brain and your body is 80% water. As we age, adults, we're about 50 to 60% water. Moisture, mist, and mysteries, and mysticism. You are fluid or in the flow. You have fluidity. That's why what you're called more than what you name, what your name does affect your chemistry because you're constantly vibrating. Put your hands up to your ears. I think I've had you do that and just press everybody on both sides. Press, not real hard, but hard enough till you hear that hum. You hear that hum? Yeah. That's the sound of the blood running and vamping and coursing through your veins. That basically means you're alive. So if you ever put your hands up there and you don't hear nothing, you done checked out. When somebody says to you, how are you doing? They're basically saying, how are you dying? Because from the time we call it transitioning. From the time you're born, you start that incline to decline to the next form that you will appear in some other reality. So if somebody says, how you dying this morning? You might say, oh, I'm dying pretty good. And if you're not feeling good, you say, how you dying? I ain't dying so good today. I got a cold. You die good or you die bad, or you die or you do. Your doing and your dying are friends because you're on your way to your next form, to the next. Jesus said, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. He actually meant dimensions, floors, spaces, places, levels, spheres, paces, apartments and condos and places to live. All the same house, but different floors. And we're not just multi-dimensional beings, we are interdimensional. We can go from one floor to another in a matter of seconds. That's why you forget you're on one floor and you're on another floor and you have a conversation. There's always conversations going on. In fact, the scripture says, in beginning was the word. That really means the conversation, logos. And the conversation was God, and the conversation was with God, and the conversation with God. So we're constantly conversing with our God self. You're constantly having an interaction, talking and listening to your own divinity, bridging it to your humanity. That's the next level that people are going to consciously go to. Religion, in about the next 30 to 50 years, maybe 100 at the most, religion as we've known it will dissipate and ultimately disappear. Yeah. Because the word religion actually comes from a Latin derivative that means to be bound or in bondage. One of the first things that the scriptures recorded as saying as a word from God is you are free to eat from any tree or truth in the garden. Even the apple that has a bite out of it. Y'all done ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil if you got apple products, so now you become like gods. That's what your scripture says. The day you eat of that tree or truth, you'll become like divinities, like divine entities. Oh, now they have eaten of the tree and become like us, knowing that word is science. Conscience means with science, conscientia in Latin, with knowledge. They are scientists. There's a science to what you call good. There's a science to what we call evil. Science means to experiment or to express or to experience. You eat from the tree of the experiment of good or the experiment of evil. And they're not enemies. They help define each other. Talk to me, somebody. We make them enemies. They know their place. They know their space. And you mustn't be afraid of either. Fear is faith in reverse. Fear of a snake or serpent is faith in its power to destroy you. Fear in an earthquake or a storm or a tsunami or your children or your spouse. All of that is faith in their ability, their presumed ability to harm you. Can you imagine living a fearless life? Not even a God who, in America, if you say he's a God-fearing man, that means you're supposed to be able to trust him, or a God-fearing woman. You're supposed to be able to trust her because she fears God, not loves God, but fears God and won't break the rules so God won't kill him. And so you can trust them to be fairly moral. That's really what that means. What you fear most, you will ultimately experience. Same as what you faith most, you ultimately experience. Now, be thinking of questions you're going to ask in a little bit. I had a conversation 22 years ago. We had, some of you might remember the Oklahoma bombing when 180 people were killed in the Murrah building in Oklahoma City. Timothy McVeigh bombed it. The same day that happened, I had at my Azusa conference in Tulsa, which we hosted for 15 years. Sometimes as many as 50,000 people would come through Tulsa to that conference in 1 week. I had Jim Baker, fresh out of prison. Yeah, that's back in my Jim Baker days. I like Jim because he let me preach on his live television. I was the first African-American to preach a live revival on that television. Then later on, I did it with TBN, but it was PTL first. Tammy loved me to be the co-host if Jim couldn't make it. I was in the big time. And the big crime, evidently. So anyway, I sent Jim a letter when he was in prison. I knew he had a 40-year sentence, but I sent him a letter and invited him to the conference as a speaker so he wouldn't be caught up on 40 years. I want to give him a little sense of hope that he could get out. I didn't know that he would so quickly, but he did. I don't know, maybe I was planting a seed for my own sins. But he came to the conference, and I won't tell you the whole, but anyway, it was the same day of the bombing. So the governor, Frank Keating, at that time called me and said, Bishop, we had this terrible bomb, you know about it? I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, listen, we're doing a memorial service this coming Sunday. Can you come down, bring your wife, and close the memorial service out? I need something positive and energetic, because it's going to be a sad, somber. I don't know how we're going to deal with it. I've asked Dr. Graham to come and be the chief eulogist. Would you come? I said, absolutely. Be happy to be there. Our conference ends on Friday. I'll drive in early Sunday morning. He called the next day and said, oh my God, you got to come earlier. Listen, the president, the Clintons are coming, their cabinet's coming, satellite, CNN's going to be there. I have to entertain the president. I've got to meet the Air Force One. Can you come early and entertain Dr. Graham? Now, any young preacher, this is 22 years ago, so I wasn't into inclusion and stuff yet, but I sure wanted to meet with Dr. Graham, even though we'd heard things in the past that he's ultimately changed. So I hosted him that day, and I remember standing there's the butler and the chef and all the staff was standing there at the governor's mansion, and they opened the door, and he breathes in, face a little creased and wrinkled, but nicely tanned from being Billy Graham. Shoulders stooped, hair a little thinning, nice little rinse on it, so some of the grays aren't seen. And Parkinson's had started, so he's doing this. And he goes to every person, every waiter, every steward, and hugs them. And finally, me and my wife and his wife, Ruth and Franklin, they take us to a special place to eat. And I've never met this man other than that day, and haven't seen him other than that day, and never had a conversation with him other than that day. And the first thing he said to me after we sat down, I said, where you go next, Rev? Well, where's your next appointment? He said, well, I don't do a lot of preaching anymore, traveling. I'm pretty much retired. I'm writing my memoirs, and it hurts to even hold a pen. This is very painful. And I watched him shaking, and I'm thinking about the ministry and who this guy is and how many thousands and millions he's spoken to. He says, you know, I've been preaching over 50 years, and I think the world is worse than it was when I started. I'm confused. I said, what do you mean, sir? Please, Dr. Moore, what are you talking about? He said, what am I doing in Oklahoma City for the first worst act of terrorism on American soil in our history? He said, this isn't New York or San Francisco or LA, it's Oklahoma City. I just dedicated your school up the road there in 1965 so that things like this wouldn't happen and the world would improve. But I'm wondering where I went wrong. You talk about next level consciousness. This man was about 80 when he said this to me, or his late 70s, because it's been 22 years and he died in 98, I think. So I'm getting nervous because I don't know what to say to this giant. He said, you young boys have it easy. You could jump on a supersonic jet and be anywhere in the world in hours. He said, we had to get on ships and travel 3 weeks to get to India. We couldn't stay there 3 days or even 3 weeks. We had to stay 3 months. I missed my children's football and basketball practices and games. He says, it wasn't for my wife. She's sitting behind him, just shrinking with osteoporosis and constant pain. She said nothing. He said, got tears, and I said, she raised my family. I was away from them. And I was busy trying to convert a world that I hadn't convinced. He said to me, I think I'm going to stop trying to convert people and just try to convince them that they're loved by God. Powerful. That was way before inclusion, but that helped inspire me to rethink what I believe, why I believe it, how those beliefs add to or subtract from the quality of my life, and would my visit on this planet count for anything as far as enhancing and improving the life of the planet. Jesus said, upon this rock, I'll build my church. He didn't use the word kuriakos in the Greek translation, which would mean assembly or congregation. He used the word ecclesia, ek meaning out of klesis, the called out ones. He didn't say, upon this rock, I'll build Christianity. He said, I will build people who hear the call, whether their name is Buddha or Mahatma Gandhi, whether they came before or after me. If they hear the call in their soul, that's what the church is. There's a summons of the soul that comes from divinity. And you're hearing it. That's why you're here. When you first hear it, it doesn't make absolute clear sense in your human intellect, but as it goes down into your spirit, it begins to resonate with your essence, with your soul, with your spirit. When I say your essence, I mean your permanent rather than your accidental self. Your immortal, immutable, immeasurable, immediate self. That's always here and now. Next level. What floor is next for you? When I said what's working for you, what's working against you, what's working on you, then what's working as you? How do you show up in the universe? What happens when you walk into a room? What happens when you arrive at your house? What happens when you come on the job, when you go in a classroom, when you just walk through a mall or a service station or stop at a Quick Trip or a 7-Eleven? What energy follows you, and what sign or signal or design, because you came here knowing, and your assignment has to do with your significance or your significance and the signature of your soul that signed and gave you acceptance and right to come to this plane of consciousness to experience your divinity. This plane or planette or plan, we're all involved in it. You agreed to come here, but most of us forgot the agreement, got over here and panicked and started robbing banks and stuff. The only time I ever panic is when I have a lapse of memory. I go to that amnesia and I forget that I made a covenant with my soul, and the soul carries the syllabus of your life. It's the course and cause and class that you take and that you are. And if you don't go within, you'll go without. So when you go into the soul and you check the syllabus, it reminds you not only that you're here, but why you're here. And that knowledge reminds you of the power that you are and the power that you have. Turn to somebody and say, I'm not weak, I'm strong. Say, I'm not only ambitious, I'm ambitious. I'm focused. I'm faithful. I know what I'm doing. Now let's ask them how you doing and how your mama and them doing. Billy Graham died saying that, and of course, I said, guess who I had on my pulpit the other Wednesday night? He said, who? I said, Jim Bakker, fresh out of prison. I said that to him because Jim Bakker's, the Billy Graham family home at that time was on Heritage USA. It has been moved to the museum, but it was on PTL. And so he said, well, guess who visited him? No, he said, guess who met his plane and gave him his first home-cooked meal? I said, who, sir? He said, I did. And Ruth gave him his first home-cooked meal. I said, what? He said, guess who visited him twice in prison? I said, who, sir? He said, I did. I just kept it under the radar. And I just kissed him. I said, my God, you are a real man, a fatherly spirit who didn't judge him like most of us did. I know I did. Talk to me, somebody. Bible says if a brother is overtaken with a fault, you who are spiritual restore him, which means repair. Not you who are religious. Right? That's why in this house, everybody's welcomed, and not only welcome, but wanted. The thing I like most about coming to Agape is don't nobody judge. Ain't nobody judging you up in here. I don't feel any judgment. You know, I might feel a little bad because I ain't a practitioner, you know, if you've come the first time. You got to learn how to eat. What's the green stuff that your pastor's made out of? The green vegetable.
Synergy drink?
Not avocado, the other new one that's tough. And y'all don't even know. This man is made of vegetables. He's made of vegan. Sometimes I think he's an alien from another planet. I don't like to just hear him talk. I like to hear him pray. I like to hear his phraseology. I like to hear he's getting spontaneous wisdom from the ages that flows. You got a priceless treasure here. I hope you realize. And it's taken me to the next level. Now, you're talking to a man who has preached to as many as 250,000 people at one time. And that many outside a stadium, I was told. Sounds evangelistic, but maybe. Who've laid hands on the sick and seen goiters disappear and folks get off stretchers and had very great success with cancer. What some people don't know is the day I preached, the last conference I had in Tulsa, when they canceled 350 buses, the word had gotten out that Bishop Pearson was a heretic and was leading people to hell, was having a nervous breakdown, midlife crisis. Don't go to the conference. They kicked me off the ORU campus, and I had months to get down, send my people down to the convention center. I wasn't familiar with those people. I was familiar with the Mabee Center because those are graduates. They're my friends. I got all kind of deals. I was on the board of regents. It was easy for me to put that conference on, paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a night. Then all the cameras and all the stuff we put in, $1 million sometimes to put that thing on. Everybody disappeared. Crowd never got above 4,500 in a 10,000 seat arena. And one preacher, and if I named him, you would know him because you've seen him on television. He said to me, Azusa is a train wreck. It'll never be anything again. I was so hurt, so angry, and so confused. And that Sunday, I had 8,000 room nights booked that we were responsible for, and the people didn't come. So I had to pay $500,000. My top man left me right in the middle of all that. And it's one thing when people turn away from you. It's another thing when they turn against you and start clawing. Nobody can be as mean as church folk when they mad. Oh my God. Grin in your face and said, the Lord sent me here. I was praying. I saw you in a dream. We know we're supposed to be here. 6 weeks later, they didn't get the position they want, and they walk away and talk about you like everything but a child of God. And, you know, as I say, sometimes some people, you just want to kill them and tell God you found them dead. You get to heaven and say, hey, what happened, God? Yeah, preachers deal with it too. You deal with all kind of angst. But I remember, what was I talking about? Azusa. So that following Sunday, these are the steps that lead me to the expansion. That following Sunday, after the conference was over and everybody was gone, I was in the swimming pool with my son, Julian, who was about 6 at that time, 6 or 7, I think. And my doctor said, I knew he had done the examination to see if I had cancer. And he said, if you do, I'll call you. If I don't call you, everything's cool. We'll handle it later. Just make another appointment. But if I see something serious, I'll call you. So I'm in the pool with Julian. Gina and my baby girl's gone, and I'm wondering if he'll call. And of course, he did call. Nobody knew, not my wife, nobody knew this call was coming or expected. I go and pick up the phone, short conversation. You got to come in next week. This is serious. Obviously, you have cancer. And I've had a personal vendetta against cancer since 1964 when my grandmother died of it. And I hated it. And I would fast 2 and 3 and 7 and 14 and 21 and 30 and 40 days to connect with whatever energy I thought I could with a fast to rebuke cancer. And I've had great success with that particular illness in prayer. So now it's invaded me. Are you with me? Yeah. And I'm thinking, what has just happened? Cancer has the boldness and the audacity to enter me, my Holy Ghost-filled sanctified body, my free and separated from sin soul, you know. Then I'm dealing with cancer. I hung the phone up and I sat there. I didn't hang it up. I just had a little cordless phones. And I went somewhere. And what brought me back to earth, my son was in the pool and he used to call me Papa in those days. He said, come on, Papa, come on. And I knew that I had a little boy. And I said, all right, I'm coming, son. And I said to the cancer, I don't know exactly why you've come here. I don't know where you got the permission because you didn't get it from me. But we need to talk. Okay, you didn't come here to kill me. First, I said, God, if I am leading millions to hell, then this is it. I think you'll probably kill me, and I want you to. If I'm wrong and had a nervous breakdown and I'm going to have people to suffer because of my error in judgment, go ahead and take me out. But I'm going to get treatment, and if you let me live, I'll know. But here's what I'm going to name cancer. You're my teacher. I'm not going to say cancer again. You're my teacher. You're going to teach me humility or grace or patience, whatever you're here to teach me, teach it. I'm a good learner. I'm a fast learner. Teach it quick and get the hell out of here back to where you came from. I said the hell, not to hell. So anyway, I don't believe anybody goes to hell, but we all go through it in some experience. And whatever that experience is, it's there to strengthen and stretch you and make you and help refine you. Not always define you, but refine you, make you more elegant and eloquent in your humanness. So that thing taught me, and I don't have time to tell you the lessons and the tears and the humiliation and the loneliness of this whole feeling. But I'll tell you one final example. I had some treatment and stuff wasn't working, and I had to go back to the same urologist. And I remember they took all my music, all my books, everything off the Christian bookstores in Tulsa. They stopped playing all my music on Christian radio. I was a dead man and dying man with cancer. No church, most of my friends gone, kept a lot of that to myself, never showed a public 1 ounce of public grief. I never shed a tear publicly. I smiled everywhere I went. I was just the same. I never gave them a hint how deeply my pain was. Yeah. I learned how to compartmentalize or push it in different places. And I went on through that praying, seeking God like I've always prayed and sought God and loved God and sang and cried and worshiped and still praying in the Holy Ghost in tongues and shouting and rejoicing on my own. But I couldn't go to the same churches anymore. Nobody wanted me. They all said no. Everybody. I mean, the friends that I thought were near, the folks I got out of jail, folks I paid their rent and kept their cars from being repossessed, and couples that I had sent to islands to save their marriages, they're all sitting there in judgment. Nobody came around except Jews, and the Jewish Federation called me first. Can you believe that? People that have been marginalized by Christians. The whole LGBT community called from different sources. We'll love you, Bishop. Gays and Jews, I said, why was that two more than any other? Because those are the two that we have been most abusive to as evangelicals. Those are the ones we've heard and hit the most. And they came around, and Bishop Flunder said, if you're going to preach inclusion, do we come in? I said, come on in, baby. Bring anybody. Just teach me the language. Teach me what I need to know, because I'm stuck in some places, but I'm ready to break out. And I could see myself just taking off layers and layers and layers of stuff that had been wrapped around me all along for all these years. And I'm 50 when that began to happen. I kept taking another layer off and another layer off and another layer off and another layer. I'm still taking layers off every level. I remove a layer. Hallelujah. Come on, say hallelujah. I'm cancer free, but I've learned a lot of lessons. I've been free for almost 10 years now. Glory, glory, glory. But I remember I was laying in this doctor's office. I'll close with this. I was facing the wall. And when I came in, the nurse was so sweet. She said, would you like me to put some Christian music on? I want to say, oh, no, don't put that. I don't even like Christian no more. And my mama's one, so all my sisters is one. Everybody I knew. But I was so hurt, and I was dealing with that. And I knew that I said, Christians don't play my music. That's all I had in my mind. So I'm laying on this table, stripped completely. They did their treatment. They leave me laying there on this table. There's blood. There's humiliation. I'm a high-profile figure in that city. Nurses have come in and out. They treat you like meat, And I'm laying there, and the music is playing, and I'm crying. And it's the most depressed time of my life. That room seemed so cold and so bland. And I felt that I was dying because I had a repeated encounter with the cancer. And they said, clean yourself up, and walked out of the room and left me there. And the radio was on. And I remember thinking, turn that thing off. They don't like me. And this song, a song I recorded, and it was me singing it, came on. I'm working on a building, it's a true foundation. I'm holding up the bloodstained banner of our Lord. When I get through working on this old building, I'm going up to heaven to get my reward. I jumped up off that table. I washed and cleaned and cried and danced, and it was me. That was the universe reminding me that I have a reason for being here. It's not time to die. It's not time for giving up. It's time for holding on. It's not time for looking back. It's time for being strong. We must go to that next level. We must expand our consciousness. We must say yes anew and afresh to the God in us, calling to us, through us, and as us. Be still and know. Did it say be still and believe? I've graduated from believing to knowing. That's why I'm not upset about the information highway. I don't know what Steve Jobs was thinking, but I know when he died, the last three phrases on his mouth were, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, they had told me he was into Zen Buddhism, so I knew he was going straight to hell. You have no idea how many of y'all I've sent to hell. You know, I am so glad that I don't go around just judging. Look at them, just going straight to hell. God ain't in them. God ain't around them. Look at them, having all the fun and drinking all that wine and smoking and dancing and enjoying life. And I'm over here with God, the Lord's despised few. I got tired of being despised. The only time I've really been persecuted in my life is by Christians. The world loves me. And when I say I mean my mom and them and my sisters and my whole family, I'm not denouncing Christianity, but sometimes Christians do things because they fear God, and that fear causes us to react in certain ways. Wrap your arms around yourself. I couldn't get to the stuff I wrote, but I made this testimony service.
Come on, wrap your arms.
I believe that we are called, not just Bishop Beckwith and people like us who lead ministries, all these amazing teachers in this house, the pastoral staff and the others who've earned their ordination, and the practitioners go through strenuous training. But you, the laity, Agape International Spiritual Church is unique, and more unique today than it's ever been in its history. You are church. He really is a man ahead of his time. See yourselves as also going to the next level. You're about to make a move. It's much more deep and high than you think. You are purposeful people. You are learned people. You are curious and disciplined people. You are holy and healthy, divinely certified. You cannot take that lightly, and you will be held responsible for what you're learning here. It will never leave you. Your gift will make room for you. I told that to my daughter, and I tell it to all gifted people, but you must make room for your gift. You are amazing. This is one of the healthiest churches I preach in or teach in. I know a healthy church. I discern the spirit when I come on the parking lot. I can see it in the faces of the people and feel it, more importantly, from their essence. See yourself. If you're coming to an awakening, as I am still awakening all the time, see, the whole people call, sometimes they get online and they're really angry and they say things because they're alarmed about what I'm saying. But the alarm only comes to wake you up. Stop pushing the snooze button. And if you do, only push it a couple of times, because you have to not only wake up, you got to get up. And that's what we're on our way to. There are masses of people that are awakening. I hear from them from all across the planet. This is a great day to be alive. I decided I was going to live a lot longer. I had expected to live a certain amount of age, and I've added 20 years to it because I want to help be a midwife to this merging shift in consciousness. Turn to somebody and say, shift happens. Tell them you're full of it. You're full of it. You're full of all that shift. So you're not in trouble. You're in transition. Get your shift together. Come on now. Hey, 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 hey. Know who you are, where you going with all this. Give somebody a high five saying it's all good. Till it's all God. I got it. We got this. Now, the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. I'm going to stop because I want to entertain some of your questions. That's part of the testimony. You don't have a testimony without a test. You know that.
That is so refreshing and refreshing and refreshing. It's so beautiful when we look and we think about what we have compared to just reading a scripture or reading a text. Because when we read a scripture or read a text, we have to leave it up for an interpretation. And it's almost like a piece of art. But if you understand some of the things that was just really bold and in your face, and that is what this is part of what led Bishop to his expansion. One of the things is he's talked about taking off the layers and going to the next level. Talked about being the midwife for the expansion. One of the things that he said was that you agreed to come here, but you forgot why. But that's part of the human contract. Before you had flesh, before you had a family, before you had belief systems that were imprinted into your mind, you were pure awareness. As they try to use that old passage of the ancient text that said, before I knew you, before you knew you. And that's what you're trying to remember. That is what we would consider pure consciousness as you choose to incarnate into this dimension. This, as they say, watching NDEs, this earth school. In order for us to experience it, and there's something we have forgotten, but we are here and we are awakening. Thank you for being in this moment, in this place, and taking and accepting this call in this position. It is an honor to be here to serve you with you. That's why we say, if you don't go within, as Bishop says, you go without. Without your memory, who are you? Without your without access to frequency that carries your divine blueprint, without the ability to consciously create, you are co-creators. And what I said earlier, if your spirituality doesn't change your reality, is it vanity? Are you just preaching to preach so that you can feed the dogma to people because it's been fed to us over and over and over and over? Metaphysically, the next level of consciousness is not somewhere else. It's the unveiling of the unseen within the seen. The physical is only the shadow. The real substance is the invisible. I love quantum physics, as quantum physics is something now that we could talk about that echoes what the mystics have always said, as we begin to understand that energy is collapsing into matter when consciousness observes it. If you, I'm not sure if y'all ready whenever I start going into that. When we start talking about the quantum and how science is married and beginning to marry or understand, or we beginning to merge and realize that science and spirituality and consciousness, as Bishop talks about consciousness being the conscience, that you are the observer. And your reality is the mirror of your vibration. If your spirituality doesn't change your reality, you're living in some form of vanity. And it's now that we begin to understand and take some level of action in our lives, just like you are, attending and being a part of something like this as we carry on. Religion taught us that you wait for heaven. And some of us really want it to be a physical place. because something about this current hell that we feel like we are in is driving us. And this has been happening, especially within the Black American culture, because of the hell that they lived and went through, that they want to be pulled out. They want to be extrapolated from the hell that they were living. Science would try to reduce you to just neurons and chemicals, but metaphysics teaches us that the kingdom of God, or God even says it, that it is within the field of infinite potential, is already coded inside of you. You are both particle and the wave, human and divine. Forget and all-knowing at the same time, forgetful and all-knowing at the same time. The next level begins when you stop outsourcing your power. Outsourcing your power to all the systems that are out there, to the noise that's out there in the world, and you begin to reclaim the truth that you are the projector. It's within you. You're not just the projection, but you are the projector. That every experience that you may have is like a feedback from your soul, right? It's saying, hey. I always vision that the higher self is like, hey, remember who you are. I had a vision, and I believe science will back this, at the heart, they say, has 40,000 times or 40,000 neurons, right? And there's a connection that the Heart Institute talks about how far the heart can reach out in frequency, and how the heart is in tandem working with the brain. The brain is not everything. The brain is something that is a central control system that works in tandem with the heart. Consciousness is like existing, and we are like Wi-Fi receivers, like this microphone system here. We have a transmitter and we have a receiver. This transmits a signal and this receives a signal, right? So when this receives the signal that's been transmitted to this, right? This is your consciousness that is transmitting a signal that is with the higher self, that's with God, and you are the receiver, right? And there's certain things that your battery and your energies have to be charged. You have to let go some things, shed off some layers. You have to deconstruct so you can already reconstruct, because you're not going to deconstruct to nothing. Because if you deconstruct, you're still going to be left with something unless you are not in you. The next level of consciousness is not outsourcing your power to all that's out there, reclaiming your truth. Remember who you are. The higher self is constantly telling you. And what we're doing here is we are digging deep and looking at it and making the unconscious conscious, and beginning to look, okay, am I getting in my own way? How am I getting in my own way? You can get in your own way. I do it all the time. When life begins to hurt, don't just ask, why me? As Bishop was talking, he was saying, ask, why is this vibration in me calling me this lesson forth in my life? What is shifting from the victimhood to being an author or being a creator mean? From being programmed to being the programmer. You are deprogramming a lot of the things, and it can be a little painful. But if you only understand that when we talk about breath work, and we talk about meditation, and we talk about even eating right, we talk about even playing around with a little bit of extra what would I say, plant-based medicines. The whole goal isn't just to feel something. The whole goal is to experience and become awakened, or looking for that awakening, because you will have them. That's just the remembering. That's next level consciousness. It all begins within you. Because if you don't go within, what does it say? If you don't go within, you will surely go without. You will surely go without. If one of the things that Bishop was talking about, and is even though some things can make us feel a certain way, I'll tell you what Bishop was talking about, what came on, just so you can have that understanding. He's lost everything and is feeling like he's about to lose his self. I will be 49 here in the next couple of weeks. Today I had a bladder scan and it came back all clear. Last week I had a colonoscopy. But for the past year and a half, I've been feeling a pressure in my back. And the thing is about energy and how things want to get to you, how things want to push you, especially as people in consciousness that we can't feel or see. I know that Bishop had bladder issues. I was around him many years, and he would have to use the restroom and have different issues. And when Bishop was beginning to find out that something was wrong, it just all of a sudden hit. But one thing that you got to remember as he was talking in his conversation is he said, when you have anger, or you have something that has, or even pain, trauma that has hung on to you, and you never have a chance to release that can manifest and change vibrationally into issues in your body. And so when Bishop was diagnosed pretty instantly and feeling the pain, he was a little bit relieved. And he accepted the fact that I'm okay. Because there's people out doing the work. There's people out doing things. As long as my kid's fine, I understand and know that we don't die. We carry on. So in his days of 70, he said, this has been frustrating and I'm ready. I'm okay with leaving. I know I don't die. And I'm here to tell you, I've been seeing monarch butterflies, yellow ones, and I have a feeling, I mean, these things have been highlighted in my consciousness has been more aware. I'm driving 50 miles an hour down the road, and here it is. I'm like, see a one. I seen one today, and I seen one, and I'm like, I'm thankful for the symbol that I'm on the path. I'm on the journey, but there's something outside that is tapping in, tuning in, and letting me know. So I'm here to let you know synchronicities. Our next book, I believe, might be Signs by a doctor, a neuroscientist that's talking about that she's received signs from her husband, vivid signs. And the thing is like, this is, we have ancestors and we understand that, but sometimes from this side of it, when we think about consciousness, it's not necessarily on a side. It's a frequency. We just have to be able to tap in, tune in, turn on, turn up, and turn out, and turn in, so that we can feel, understand. There are signs happening in your life. There are things happening in your life as you go and you do the work, whether it's breath work or meditation and trying to eat right and going into your own understanding of how you would enter into this place of contemplation. If it's prayer, if it's a fast, that's fine. You do you, boo. But just understand, if your spirituality doesn't actually change your reality, you might be living into some kind of vanity. When Bishop was speaking and he was talking about he was feeling down and low and he didn't want to hear anything about the music and things of that nature, somehow the synchronicity flowed in. And on the radio, pops up this song.
It's a sure foundation. I'm holding up the blood stain, dying for the Lord. When I get to working on this old building,
So cute.
I'm going up to heaven to get my reward. Come on. I'm working on a building. It's a sure foundation. I'm holding up the blood stain, dying for the Lord. When I get to working,
This is what came on when he was on a table
I'm going up to
going
heaven.
through his pain.
Come on, children. I am working on a building.
Synchronicity found that his own music came on.
I'm holding up the blood stain.
No matter where you are right now, just allow the spirit to flow, allow things to flow, allow things to happen in your life.
To get my reward. Well, Jesus is real, real. Jesus is real to me. Oh, he gives me so many people, but I can't live without it. That is why I love praise. In the morning, he's real. Jesus is real. Yeah, Jesus is real. Oh, he gives me
Just enjoy your time
so
right
many
now.
people. And I
Allow the
can't
spirit
live
and allow
without
the
it.
feeling
That is why.
to flow through you.
One more time, he's real. Jesus is real. Don't you know he is? Oh, he gives me victory. So many. I can't live without it. Yeah. Hey. Come on, clap those hands if you know he's real.
There's a vibration, there's a spirit, and there's an essence from where we come from and what we've done.
You can't make me down it. You can't make me down it.
This is where we've been, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Not where we're going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Say, oh, yes.
I see you. I see you.
I know he's real. King Jesus is real. The Lord is real.
Look at these.
In my soul. In my soul.
Come on, Bishop.
In my soul. In my soul. Well, you can't make me doubt it. I know that much about it. He's all over me. Keeping me alive. Keeping me alive. In my home. In my family. In my ministry. In my body. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wow. What a time.
Well, Jesus is real.
What a time.
Well,
Jesus is real to me.
oh, he kills me. So many. Can't live without it.
Thank you so much.
That is why
Thank you so much, Bishop.
he's so real to
We do like this.
give him glory. I said, give him glory.
I will always love Azusa. Let's be clear. I will always love Azusa. 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
What a wonderful, beautiful essence and time and experience and expression that we had during those moments. Not all was lost. It is just where we were. We didn't fly all the time. There was one time that we walked, we drove, we rode, and we began to process life. This is where we are. So in this expanded world of what this is, I've had lots of epiphanies and understandings and connections and expressions of understanding that we don't necessarily have to look at all of the experience and the expression as something that we didn't like. There's certain levels of dogma and things that we don't necessarily agree with, or we have actually just move on from. But we still can appreciate the essence and the moments and the times that we had a high vibrational moment. I was a musician, so I really loved those moments because I got to play. And it was so fun to be able to play, sing, and enjoy life. And I don't plan on moving into a space where I'm just sitting around doing yoga and meditating. That's not that. I love it. I'll do it, right? And I'll experience it for what it is. But I still also will be able to reflect, reminisce, right? How y'all like it? Did y'all have a good time this evening? Did you have a good time this evening? I don't hear you.
I think so. Based on the comments, everybody was just taking it in when Bishop was talking, but a lot of people were just what tears of joy. You can't shake my belief in what I know. The divine is truly within me. Yes, I loved. Thank you, Velma. Good to see you. Hey, LaSonia. I'm glad you enjoyed. Mary Whitman, she kept saying, thank you. Thank you. I'm really enjoying this. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I guess my 2 cents before we close, because it's getting late. I kept sticking to what Bishop was talking about, that when we brought into this realm, that we forget the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
It was forgetting that agreement, and that this whole thing about expanding consciousness is our journey back. It is our journey back to our true self. And we have to go back within us to remember what our journey is about. So don't ever begrudge the journey. You know, Bishop, he had hard times. He probably felt bitter, but more sorrow than anything at times. But he still kept going on the journey to get back to his truth of who he is. So I want to remind everybody that on this journey of consciousness, the whole goal is to get back to you, to get back to the true you, with the layers off, stripping the layers off, with the dogma off. Be true to who you were before the world defined you. Those are my 2 cents. Those are my 2 cents for the evening.
Thank you.
Oh, looks like your mom. You got comp. She was having a good time. I'm glad you enjoyed. Oh, thank you, Ashara. She gave me a quotable. Don't ever begrudge the journey. It's here to teach us, just like Bishop was saying, that he's called it cancer that one time, and after that, he renamed it. It was his teacher. Everything we go through and everything we experience is absolutely a teachable moment. If we look at it that way, we'll get the lesson quicker. We'll master the lesson quicker. That's what this is about.
Thank you so much, D. You are amazing. I appreciate you. You make what I'm doing doable. It is not always easy when you set to do something like this and you're starting from scratch. And I appreciate you, your insight, your contribution and your love to the expanded consciousness community, but honestly, also me. I really appreciate it. And this weekend,
It's our Saturday gathering.
It is a Saturday gathering. Yes, yes, yes. It is going to be hopping and popping at about 9:30
9:30 Central, 10:30
Central,
Eastern.
10:30 Eastern. And for the people that are on the West Coast, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you're on the West Coast, but it's 7:30. It is 7:30. But I'm here to tell you, if you are on the West Coast and it's 7:30 when we start, you are totally fine if you get there 8:30.
Absolutely.
Because I
We'll
usually
be there.
I usually run from, let's say we get at May 9:30 is when we come together, but we get up and going and popping probably about 9:45, 10, and so we'll run from 10 to 12. So you got time to get in the space, and I promise you, you will enjoy yourself, because those moments we get to spend more time with each other and together, right? And we get to, and you get to see each other if you want to turn your camera on. So, you know me, I'm gonna have my camera on and I'm going to be doing what I do, because honestly, I live for this. I live for it.
Well. I as well. Joylyn, thank you for that beautiful comment. That was really beautiful. Thank you. Yep. I don't know if you saw it, Coach.
Oh, okay. You both make a massive difference in the week. Oh, thank you so much. Yes.
That's what we're here for. Transforming lives. One at a time.
Including our own.
Absolutely. Walk it like we talk it. Sorry. Had to give a shout out to the Migos. Okay, like that.
So this weekend, thank you. I appreciate it. Miss Velma, was a person that when I was on Bishop's platform, Miss Velma was like, I would have interviews and she said, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Coach. And then another person said, you know what? Bishop's gone. What are we going to do? You tell us what to do. That was Miss Carolyn, or Miss Carol, from Atlanta City. She's been on the show. I need to have her back. She's an amazing person. We're getting it cooked up. We're going to have some really wonderful, beautiful interviews coming up.
I forgot. Yeah, next week. I did talk to Don today. Don Jackson will be with us. He's a part of our community and he's been on the program before. We're bringing him back. And then September is going to be really exciting. So we'll have more guests to roll out for you in September.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, because in September, I'm going to be hosting something for Don. And we'll make sure we'll talk about that next week. And also, just in case you don't know, this is posted in the Patreon community. I'm going to figure out how to have a watch party. But I just discovered this week, we had been working on this for a while. We thought we was going to go back on Temu, but we end up going on Amazon Prime. I'm the executive producer of this film. This is part 2 of Why Trump. This is talking about the two Americas. And this setting is shot in Tulsa, Oklahoma from 2020 to 2023. We worked on this. And it really just talks about it gets into the consciousness and minds of the individual peoples and why they believe what they believe. Why is it that they vote for what they vote for? And we don't really try to influence people for what they are voting for, but we do actually try to ask questions about why is it that people feel a certain way. And a lot of this part 2 talks about the Tulsa Race Massacre, talks a lot about belief, and Bishop Carlton Pearson is probably he serves quite a bit in this episode, like quite a bit. We knew Bishop had transitioned, and of course my dear friend Brian, who is the director and writer, that guy there, was really close to Bishop also. And he actually put Bishop in. In a minute, you'll see there's David Banner. In a minute, you will see Bishop towards the end, where we had him and interviewed him. There's a lot of people interviewed. There was Trump rallies there was the insurrection that literally, that is our footage. There's Bishop right there. That was an interview that we shot with Bishop in, oh man, you got to ask me now. I think that might have been, it's sometime 2022, maybe.
I think 2022. Yeah.
Something. And then I have more footage that I shot of Bishop's last full interview. We shot that in December, I think, of 2020. He died in November of 2023. So we shot that right before he got sick, January of 2023. That's when we shot his last interview. And I'm working on what to do with that, because it's a beautiful interview. He's telling a story. I'm going to figure out what I want to do. If I want to do a documentary, or, if I want to have a watch party. Definitely, if we do something here in Tulsa in the next fall, we may do something and be able to enjoy some things. But I love you guys, appreciate you guys. And of course, D had just posted the Patreon group. If you go to Patreon Expanded Conscious, you can go to there. You can just Expanded Conscious Community on Patreon, and you will find it. I am, whether you are free or paid, it don't matter. I would just want to get as many people to sign up inside there, because that is not YouTube, that is not Facebook, and you have a lot more connection to your people, and you're not controlled by these systems that are really ultimately controlling us and probably want to control us more in how much reach we have, right? And so that way, you guys belong into the private community, and we do our own things, and I'm posting in there and giving you some behind the scenes and things of that nature. And if you're a part of the paid community, then we do some all community stuff and some one-on-one stuff. So yeah.
I'm loving the connections, Jennifer, between Jennifer and Oshara. I'm loving that right now, seeing that. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I mean, in this space too, on top of it, man, it's amazing, because we covering quite a bit of the coast. Quite a bit of the country.
Yeah. Your mom. Thank you, ma'am. Get some rest.
Yes. Love you, Mom. Thank you for, I was born and raised.
Thank you, Velma. You're so sweet.
COGIC.
Love and respect to you always as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry too, and I won't forget, just because not everybody's in the Patreon, because we're gonna go. I have to go ahead. This is something that Bishop was always like, well, but I always will put the the Cash App up there, because guess what? This is all I do, and looking to do more.
Listen, StreamYard isn't free, y'all.
There's another stuff ain't. But anyways, I appreciate
all the things.
Every bit of what you contribute and do, right? It just really isn't. It's more than encouraging to keep going, and to look at what you can do, what we can do more, right? There will be more, as Bishop Ash says, there is more.
Yes.
If you go and watch Why Trump, make sure that you like it, and then you watch it, and make sure you rate it, because a lot of our films, because they can be a little politically motivated, this film is not super, like, it is what it is. It just, why Trump is just interviewing the people and letting you hear the people for what they got to say. It's not, but there's a lot of people that are watching films and be like, I'm gonna go, and just because it doesn't honor him and praise him and nobody's going to his feet, they will come and give us a 1 star or something. So I would like to get 20 5 stars. 4 stars would be good, but get some, because if you watch
5
it,
is better. 5 is better. 5.
Yeah.
5.
And if you watch it, it's very intriguing. It's very beautiful. And I may end up, I'll figure out what to do, right, in order to really watch it, and then be able to have a conversation, maybe have a conversation with Brian, who was the editor, director. It was wild. It was really wild when you sit there and you in the midst of all that. It was so wild and crazy. But I appreciate everyone. And we'll be back next week. We got a special guest. And I promise you that you will not be disappointed, and you will be able to continue this process of expanding your awareness and your consciousness. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
I was raised in the echoes of sermons and signs, told who I was, what to believe, how to walk the line. Kneeled at the altar, searching for grace, but all I found was fear wrapped up in faith. But something deep inside kept calling me. A whisper in the dark said you are free. Not in the rules, not in the chains, but in the love that calls my name. Learning to love myself, trust myself, even when I think I'm wrong. Learning to be set free, learning to be, learning just to be. No longer bound by the weight of my past. Took off the guilt, let it burn in the ash. I don't need permission to stand in the light. God ain't a place, God is inside. God is inside. Something deep inside keeps calling me. A whisper in the dark says you are free. Not in the rules, not in the chains, but in the love that knows my name. Learning to love myself, trust myself, even when I think I'm wrong. Learning to be set free, learning to be, learning just to be. Deep inside keeps calling me. A whisper in the dark says you are free. Not in the rules, not in the chains, but in the love that knows my name. Learning to love myself, trust myself, even when I think I'm wrong. Learning to be set free, learning to be. Learning to love myself, trust myself, even when I think I'm wrong. Learning to be set just to be